Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, brush fires breaking out across North Charlotte County tonight. At least 12 fires popped up near Biscayne Drive and Jacobs Street, shutting down some other major roads. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office now asking for the public's help identifying a suspicious vehicle that was seen in the area of these fires. That vehicle described by law enforcement as a red, older model four-door vehicle that was possibly occupied by two male juveniles. Investigators are not ruling out arson at this point. Multiple agencies taking part in that containment effort. Earlier today, we spoke with Charlotte County fire officials about what goes into responding to a brush fire as opposed to a structure fire.
Where's a structure fire? We're looking at that structure and maybe the structure next to it or behind it, surrounding it. With a brush fire, there's a lot of different components, the wind being one of them, the amount of fuel, and when I say the amount of fuel, how much dry brush, trees, weeds are in that area that can create and burn very hot. We're also looking at the terrain, how far we can get a fire engine in.
Anyone with information on that search for a car that may have been involved is asked to contact the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office immediately. Drivers are advised to watch out for that area for possible delays. A man in Bradenton has been arrested tonight after witnesses say he tried to lure a 10-year-old girl into his car. According to the child's mother, Rolanda Batista had driven past the home on 13th Street East in Bradenton several times. The little girl had been walking in the front yard to a neighbor's house when Batista parked that car and told her to get in so they could go to the park. That girl instead ran to tell her mom, and witnesses confronted the suspect and detained him until deputies arrived. He was then arrested without incident. Well, fans of both teams in Super Bowl 52 are celebrating the coldest game in Super Bowl history here in the warmer part of the country on the Sun Coast without having to deal with those frigid temperatures. One bar and restaurant on Anna Maria Island is supporting the Eagles in true Philly fashion, serving up Philly cheesesteaks, pretzels, and other local favorites to nearly 100 fans tonight. And down in Sarasota, a bar with ties to the New England Patriots, serving New England clam chowder and wings to about 75 Patriots fans.
We're singing the Eagles fight song, we're doing the Eagles chant, people are beating on the bars, we're just going nuts.
We have a lot of people from the Northeast that are big football fans, and they're true fans as well.
And we'll have plenty more on Super Bowl 52 coming up later in our sports area. But right now we have more on weather, and we head straight over to Wendy Ross for a check on that First Alert weather forecast. Wendy, how's it going out there?
And Adam, it was a perfect night to be indoors watching a football game. As you can see, most of the rain has now moved down to the south of our area, and we are looking at mostly cloudy skies with most of the showers pretty much coming to an end, but some heavy showers down around the Fort Myers area right now. We watch the rains coming on in beginning at around 5:30, 6 o'clock tonight, and we saw those showers finally starting to taper off beginning sometime around 10:30, and most of this wet weather is going to continue to move on down to the south, and we're going to be left with mostly cloudy conditions for the rest of the night to fair skies, and that's what's going on right now with our temperatures in the 60s. Those lingering showers will be well down to the south, and we are looking at temperatures that are going to drop down into the 60s for the overnight time period. We'll let you know how the beginning of the work week is shaping up and how the rest of the week will be shaping up as well. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Adam.
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Well, 35 manatees across Florida have died as a result of cold stress syndrome, all in January. That is according to a report from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Those deaths recorded between January 1st and January 26th were tallied in a preliminary report. The commission says that was 5 times as many deaths compared to the same period in 2017. Cold stress syndrome can occur when marine mammals encounter water below 68 degrees Fahrenheit for a prolonged period of time. Well, it's been 1 year since an ordinance banning the commercial sale of dogs and cats went into effect in Sarasota County, and a group of residents is asking why Petland is still selling dogs at their location off of Fruitville Road. Sarasota County approved that puppy mill ordinance back in January of 2016, giving stores like Petland a 1-year grace period to continue selling the animals. We are past that deadline, but Petland is in a lawsuit with the county claiming that ordinance is unconstitutional. The county has filed a counterclaim, and now the courts will have to decide if the ordinance is enforceable. According to court documents, Petland tried to claim itself as a hobby breeder, but the county says that the retailer sold 90 puppies per month in 2015, which is too many to be put in that category.
Our shelters are full of stray dogs or dogs that need to be adopted. There's any kind of dog you can think of is in a shelter. If you want a specific breed, all you have to do is go online and look up rescues, and you can find everything from puppies up to seniors of that breed. They're out there. You don't need to be paying thousands of dollars for a possibly sick dog here at Petland.
Petland also tried to compare their situation to that of Sarasota County Animal Services, but the county argues that their shelter doesn't operate for profit. And now to that deadly flu epidemic. The newest figures from the CDC finding that outbreak still has not reached its peak. And with so many people still getting sick, some are turning to pharmacies for rapid tests. But is that enough of a precaution? ABC's Zachary Quiche has that answer.
The unrelenting flu season continuing to intensify. Hospitalizations from the virus, the highest health officials have seen since they began tracking in 2010. So far this year, over 14,000 hospitalized compared to 6,500 the same time last year. Tragedy hitting the youngest among us, with 16 children dying from the deadly strain last week alone. 53 children dead so far this winter. 70-year-old Savannah Jesse was one of the victims. She tested positive for the flu and scarlet fever.
After they left the hospital, he took her home, put her in bed, and then found her Friday morning.
The scare causing people in Lenoke, Arkansas to go to the growing number of pharmacies offering quick flu testing. Just like at a physician's office or an urgent care center, while it's not common, pharmacists can get certified to conduct flu and other tests like strep. If it's positive, pharmacists reach out to the healthcare providers for a recommendation on what to do next.
I think it's best to go into your doctor's office. We try to avoid keeping people in the waiting room who might infect other people, get them into exam rooms, and test them to see if they have influenza A or B.
Back here in Florida, lawmakers will reach the midpoint of their annual 60-day session this week with some major items still on their plate. One of those items, the state budget. The House and Senate are expected to pass their versions of an $87 billion budget, but there are major differences between the spending proposals, particularly on issues like public schools, universities, and the environment.
They have about a month to try to work things out, but it may not be easy. Last year, it took until nearly summer for a new budget to be passed.
Two other items on that agenda besides a budget this week: a proposal to give private school vouchers for public school students who are bullied, intimidated, or harassed, and a proposal to remove Confederate Memorial Day and the birthdays of Confederate General Robert E. Lee and Confederate leader Jefferson Davis from the list of legal holidays here in Florida. Well, turning now to politics on Capitol Hill, and that controversial Republican memo on the Russia investigation still generating buzz. The president celebrating on Twitter Saturday, saying the memo vindicates him, but as ABC's Chuck Sievertson reports, other lawmakers appear to be singing a different tune.
President Trump celebrating the Super Bowl today at his Mar-a-Lago retreat, also celebrating the release of the now declassified memo, claiming it vindicates him in the Russia probe. The president claims the 4-page document, written by Republican staff of the House Intelligence Committee, proves the special counsel's investigation led by Robert Mueller is nothing more than partisan politics. Democrats vehemently disagree, saying the document heralded by California Congressman Devin Nunes doesn't explain the big picture.
I think it's very possible his staff worked with the White House and coordinated the whole effort with the White House. Because it looks so much like this earlier effort, which we know was coordinated with the White House by the same chairman, who had said that he would recuse himself, but of course hasn't.
Schiff and his fellow Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee have a rebuttal memo that the GOP-controlled committee has refused to release. Today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer sent a letter to the president urging him to support the release of Schiff's rebuttal, saying Americans deserve to hear both sides of the story. Democrats fear President Trump will use the memo as an excuse to fire Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who endorsed eavesdropping on a former Trump campaign advisor. But Republican Congressman Trey Gowdy says not so fast.
I've had my differences with Rod Rosenstein, and I still think that he is fully capable of helping run a Justice Department that we can all have confidence in.
Leaders of the president's own party have so far been unwilling to accept the GOP memo as a reason to end the Russia probe. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News, New York.
Well, still to come here on ABC 7, outrage over a cancer scam involving parents pretending their son had terminal cancer, even lying to him about his own health. Plus, a passenger train headed to Florida slamming into a freight train, the second deadly collision in less than a week, raising questions about safety.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Don't miss the 20th Annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, February 15th through the 18th. The festival where rock meets country. Admission is free, and proceeds benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. For information, visit thunderbythebay.org.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Well, now to the growing outrage over parents accused of pretending their teen had brain cancer to get financial donations, even telling that child that he only had months to live. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez with more on that story.
Tonight, these parents facing felony charges accused of convincing their 13-year-old son he had terminal cancer, all to bilk their community out of cash. Police in Florida saying the boy spent the last 8 months believing he's going to die from brain cancer. His mother, Ginny Long, posting on Facebook in December that they were told it would be a miracle if he was still with them by Christmas. A GoFundMe page raised nearly $1,000, and the parents sold these T-shirts at the boy's middle school, all for his supposed treatment. Only investigators say medical records prove he never had cancer, a type of alleged scam that's duped others. In 2015, this former beauty queen was arrested, accused of falsely claiming she had leukemia and raising nearly $14,000.
I would never think that somebody would exploit a disease to gain money.
GoFundMe says campaigns with misuse make up less than 0.1% of all campaigns. The site has a guaranteed refund policy, so everyone who donated to help the boy in Florida will get their money back. Experts say do your homework when donating on crowdfunding websites. Make sure the site has consumer protections against fraud, reach out to the organizer or website directly, and always use a credit card.
And those parents are charged with fraud and child abuse. Police say their son and another child are now in foster care as the investigation moves forward. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And another deadly Amtrak derailment now under investigation. At least 2 people were killed and more than 100 injured. Around 2:30 this morning, a Miami-bound Amtrak slammed into a freight train outside Columbia, South Carolina. Nearly 150 people were on board, and among those killed, 2 Amtrak workers, the train's engineer and conductor. South Carolina's governor says the CSX freight train was parked on what appeared to be a side track, and the Amtrak train was traveling at nearly 60 miles per hour upon impact.
The chair, and this was hurting, and I couldn't get up. The first thought was I wasn't going to make it. This was the end for me.
Passengers from that crash arriving in Jacksonville by bus tonight. This crash comes as another headache for Amtrak. In December, 3 people were killed south of Tacoma, Washington after a train on its inaugural run derailed and struck a highway. And just 4 days ago, an Amtrak transporting members of Congress to a retreat struck a garbage truck near Charlottesville, Virginia. Well, enjoy your week. Coming up this week, we'll have some lovely temperatures here.
I'll tell you what, we are going to be seeing some nice changes for a change, right? And so what we've had today is we've had the rain and we had the wind and we had all of the cloudy weather, and all of this is about to go away. You can see the showers lining up moving down towards the south. We've had cloudy weather throughout the last couple of hours across our viewing area, but we've also had some lingering showers around Charlotte County, and we're starting to clear out there, but we still have just a remnant right here across the southeastern corner of Charlotte County, and just a few isolated showers still on the map, but all that is moving on down to the south. And earlier tonight, we had some heavy rains that came through over portions of our viewing area, and they all moved down towards the south. And so right now we're just left with mostly cloudy conditions, and we've had plenty of rainfall around the region as well. The Tampa Bay area, though, had a little bit more rain than we did, but ours was pretty impressive. We've had any more than an inch of rain to almost 3 inches, and over that in portions of the Charlotte County region. You can see over 2 inches of rain in Englewood. Northport reporting over 3 inches. Other places coming in right around 1 to 1.5 inches of rainfall, and this taking place in pockets across our region. Now, of course, the reason for all of this was a cold front that is still situated to our north. That is going to be moving on through the state later on tonight, and that developing low pressure center helping to bring about the showers. And once that front moves on through, it's going to clear everything out, and we are going to be left with a beautiful day tomorrow. So we've got these lingering showers for just a little bit longer, and then once that front comes on through, we're already going to be clearing out across the northern parts of the state, and then central Florida will also start to see clearing skies as the day wears on tomorrow, and we're going to be left with a beautiful, beautiful Monday with our temperatures not nearly as cold, despite the fact that a cold front is coming on through. So right now we're looking at a temperature reading of 64 degrees. We've got temperatures in the 60s all across our viewing area. East, we still have temperatures in the 70s. And one thing that you'll note if you walk outside is that the winds have really finally calmed down. Earlier today we had wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour, and now we're looking at our wind speeds of anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. So things appear to be back to normal as far as that goes. And if you're heading out to the beach, we're looking at those winds coming in out of the north and then shifting around towards the northeast later on in the afternoon at 15 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet and a moderate chop out on the bay and inland waters. And the temperature tomorrow is expected to get up to right around 75 degrees, but 72 is what it will be at the beaches, with the Gulf water temperature warming up to 63 degrees now. So the showers are coming to an end. We're looking at our overnight low of about 62. Normally we're at 53, so warmer despite the fact that we've got a cold front moving on through, and the winds will be coming in out of the south-southwest for the rest of tonight. So what we have going on tomorrow morning is we may get some morning fog both Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday morning, and then as the day wears on, plenty of sunshine around. And notice our temperatures throughout the week and into the middle portion of the week climbing into the low 80s for daytime highs. There's a chance of a frontal system coming on through on Thursday, so there's a 20% chance of rain and slightly cooler temperatures with the possibility of showers on Saturday and Sunday. Adam?
All right, thank you, Wendy. Some football game was played tonight. We'll tell you about it in sports.
else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
You shop around for the best prices on everyday products. But when it comes to your health care,
nobody has any idea what things cost.
Doctors and hospitals within blocks of each other charging different prices for the same procedure.
That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense.
Investigator Lee Zarek exposes a secret some medical professionals don't want you to know and shows you how to put the purchasing power back in your hands. Costly Care, an ABC7 investigation Monday at 6.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at NationalGuard.com.
Now, sports.
A former Suncoast football standout has likely cemented himself on every Super Bowl 52 highlight reel we'll be seeing for years to come. Trey Burton, who started at quarterback at Venice High School, is once again throwing touchdown passes in green and white. Check this out. Facing a fourth, well, here we go. All right, there it is. Facing a 4th and goal right before halftime. The now Eagles tight end took a reverse handoff from Corey Clement and hits the actual quarterback, Nick Foles, to take a 10-point halftime lead. As we reported in the days leading up to tonight's game, all of Indian Nation has their eyes on number 88 tonight. Here's what 2 former coaches had to say about him.
Even if you were not an Eagles fan or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're a Trey Burton fan and you want him to go bring home the championship.
Trey deserves all of it. You know, he comes back and he still is involved in our community and still is involved with our players on the team.
Well, now Trey is a star, and here's why. Brady and the Patriots will come out firing in the second half, mostly to Rob Gronkowski, who caught about 5 balls on that opening drive right there. But Nick Foles answers with this 3rd down dime to Corey Clement. How about that? And Foles would not stop there. Down 1 with under 3 minutes to go. Foles hits his tight end, Zach Ertz, to take a late lead. And then this play would seal the game. Ensuing possession for the Patriots, Tom Brady, is stripped by former teammate Chris Long. The Eagles win their first Super Bowl, and former backup Nick Foles is your MVP with 4 touchdowns in the game. Trey Burton adding a Super Bowl ring to the Venice Indians state championship rings captured just months ago. More to come here on ABC7. Stay with us.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less. and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
A Florida man who was arrested outside a Lana Del Rey concert after a possible kidnapping threat is denying those accusations tonight. 43-year-old Michael Hunt has been charged with attempted kidnapping and stalking. Police said Hunt had tickets for the singer's performance at the Amway Center in Orlando, and according to a statement from Orlando police, he also had a knife on him when he was arrested near that venue on Friday. Police say they were tipped off that Hunt posted threats directed at the singer online. Hunt denying those allegations in court on Sunday.
The lady doesn't know me. How could it possibly be a serious charge if me and hers never met each other and everything is out?
Hunt claimed it was love and that he never planned to harm her. He's being held in Orlando County Jail, Orange County Jail with no bond. Lana Del Rey tweeting Sunday that she's doing fine and appreciates all of the messages of concern. It was a modest weekend at the box office thanks to the Super Bowl, but it was a good weekend for Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which returned to the top spot with $11 million in ticket sales. In second place was Maze Runner: The Death Cure. That movie slipped a spot from first place last weekend. It brought in a respectable $10 million in its second week of release. And rounding out the top three, the horror thriller Winchester, which Wendy saw on opening night, I think.
No, I did not. No, I did not. Well, we are looking at some clearing skies for the overnight time period, and then when you get up tomorrow morning, we could see some fog developing. After that, it's going to be gorgeous. 75 for the high, not bad.
Perfect. Check in with John Scalzi in the morning.